What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I was gonna make some runs in a minute, but I had to make some videos for y'all, especially after watching South Carolina defeat the Iowa Hawkeyes by a score of 87-75. Women's national championship game. And what a phenomenal game. Outstanding game. These two teams have been outstanding for women's college basketball. They have helped to propel women's college basketball to new heights, to where men are talking amongst each other like, did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? As you hear my microwave going off. But yeah, and men aren't talking about the men's college basketball games. We're talking about the women's, right? But I want to say this, man. Congratulations to the South Carolina Gamecocks and Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley deserves all the praise in the world, without question. She was the first black head coach, male or female, to win two Division One basketball titles, right? Today, she is the first black head coach to win three Division One basketball titles, which is extremely hard, right? Some would say it's easier in the women's game. Man, the women's game is super duper competitive now. Like you got talent all across the board at different programs, whether it be at UConn, whether it be at LSU, Iowa, South Carolina. You got a lot of great teams out here with Colorado. You got a lot of great programs that are, the talent is, the playing field is almost just about even a lot of times, right? And Dawn Staley is out here getting a job done. She has 3 national championships with 3 different stars leading the way. She lost all 5 starters from last season's team, including the 2022 Women's College Player of the Year and 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Aaliyah Boston. Lost all 5 starters, including Aaliyah Boston, and now they are undefeated champions this year. They went 38-0. They didn't lose a game all this season. Y'all, I don't know how to put into words how incredible that is. You got a team where because you can have all the talent in the world, and if you can't coach them, if you can't teach the right basketball sets, if you can't manage the game properly, if you can't stop the bleeding when teams go on runs, you are cooked. And we saw that with John Calipari in Kentucky. A lot of times he always got all the top talent, all the McDonald's All-Americans you can dream of, and they lose in the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. One time they didn't even go. I remember when they had Archie Goodwin and all that talent over there with Nerlens Noel, I believe, right? So it ain't just she got all the talent. She knows how to coach them together, to keep them, to get them to play for each other, to not play individual one-on-one basketball, and she gets them to buy into a team concept. That's what a great coach is, right? So again, they had 38 wins on the season, 0 losses on this year, right? Over the last 3 years, I don't even know if y'all know this. Over the last 3 years, Dawn Staley is 109-3. I'm going to repeat that. Over the last 3 years, Dawn Staley, the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks, or the women's basketball team, she has 109 wins and only 3 losses. That is remarkable. That's incredible. That is incredible, man. And you saw how much of a well-oiled machine they are today. I put that on Facebook. I'm like, yo, they such a well-oiled machine. Because to survive that onslaught from a generational talent and arguably the greatest women's college basketball player of all time, Caitlin Clark. They survived they was down, 10-0 to start the game. Caitlin Clark had 18 points in the first quarter. She going crazy. And they didn't lie down. They didn't stay defeated. And I'm going to say this because I've watched games where Steph Curry starts off cooking. And I see the other team just gets defeated. They know, oh my God, it's his night. We can't do anything. He cooking, he's smoking. There's nothing we could do. They didn't just reel it in and say, damn, y'all, we got to another championship. We glad we made it. No, they kept fighting. And then you see Raven Johnson switch on to Caitlin Clark, right? And if for those who don't know, was that last year when Caitlin Clark and them was playing South Carolina? And I was playing South Carolina. And Raven Johnson is at the top of the key. She at the 3-point line. And Caitlin, disrespect. It's not disrespectful in real time. It's like when basketball players don't believe you can shoot the ball, they don't even guard you. They let you stay out there on an island by the 3-point shot. And Caitlin Clark waved her hand like, I ain't worried about you, man. Go ahead and take that shot. I don't worry about you, man. Go ahead. You ain't gonna make it. That's when you wave somebody off like that, man, go ahead. We ain't worried about you. Right? That's what you saying when you wave somebody off. Right? And Raven Johnson, I believe she took that personal. Like Michael Jordan say, right? I took that very personal in that Last Dance documentary. And she defended Caitlin Clark the rest of the way extremely well. Now, Caitlin finished with 30, but she was contained a lot of times. She couldn't get back into that groove where she was just knocking 3 after 3 and knocking shot after shot down. Even times she looked like she about to lose the ball at times. She's like, and she's a very, very good ball handler, right? She about to lose the ball at times. She about to almost turn the ball over because Raven Johnson's defense is solid, outstanding on her, right? And then I look at the team all the way around. I'm looking at when after the first half was over with, I'm seeing pow knockdown shots. Tessa Johnson knocking 3 after 3 down. Camila Cardoza, she getting the rebounds, Camila Cardoza had 15 points and 17 boards. Grabbing rebounds, laying the ball right back up. Even when she falling away from the basket, I'm watching her block shots. I'm watching all of them. And Tessa Johnson, that second half, man, knocking down 3 after 3. Then you got pow, all them hitting shots when necessary. And I'm like, yo, this is a real team, man. This is a real team. So in this game, we had the greatest the greatest women's college basketball player of all time, arguably. Caitlin Clark, all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball, versus the greatest team, what I believe is the greatest women's team of all time in this year's South Carolina Gamecocks, man. And Dawn Staley coached them to keep their composure. She coached them to keep their composure. Okay, don't get rattled. We down right now early. Y'all, hey, listen. Let's get back into the flow of the game. Be able to control the pace of the game. To get your players to control the pace of the game, man, that's a skill, man. That is a talent. That is a skill. Every coach can't do that, man. Even when your team goes up by a big lead, keep your team composed, because teams give away leads all the time, especially when you got a sharpshooter like Caitlin Clark on the other side of the ball. A player who can come across half court and fire it up, and she hit 2 threes. Next thing you know, shit, y'all, the game is back in reach. She hit 2 or 3 threes. What? What do you got, like a 3-point lead at that point, right? And Dawn knew that. So she ain't just getting excited, letting them all get out. She not letting them get loosey-goosey with the ball as the game goes on and they getting the lead stretch. No, man, we got to be sound. We got to make smart decisions. And I got to give it to her, man. When you lose all your starters from last year's team and come back and win, undefeated fashion, I got to salute that, man. Black coach got 3 national championships. She turned in South Carolina into what Gino Auriemma turned UConn into. I watched Gino Auriemma for years. It was him and Pat Summitt them going at it a lot of times. And for the most part, we figured it was just a given that UConn was going to take it. They had Breanna Stewart, all them, Diana Taurasi, all that talent they used to have over there, man. And they still got a ton of talent over there to this day. But you know what I mean, right? And so now we look at South Carolina the way we looking at Gino teams. Like, man, South Carolina know how to recruit their ass off, man. Dawn Staley know how to go get the right girls to be able to get what she needs done, to be able to win. She's a class act. She don't be out here acting a fool. She don't condone her players to partake in BS. If she feel like they out of line, she check it. She has no problem critiquing her team and reeling them in when necessary. She do not co-sign BS or co-sign ignorance. And again, just a class act all the way around, man. And I'm happy for her. She got paid a lot of bread, deservingly so. And I hope she get paid even more, man, because when you do a job like this, it just shows you what you are as a coach, what you are as a recruiter, what you are as a leader of young women, what you are as a manager of talent. She know how to manage that talent well to where they get to play, where they're playing for the name on the front of the uniform and not the name on the back. And you got to salute that, man. 109 wins and 3 losses in 3 years, dog. Come on, man. You got to respect that. She got 3 national championships at the helm of being South Carolina's coach. And I got to shout out my homegirl, Joanna, man. Joanna, she went to Mississippi Valley with me and Arkansas State. Joanna was telling me about Dawn Staley in South Carolina in 2015. When we first got to, when I first got to grad school, when I first got up in there, she telling me, man, listen, Dawn Staley, she gonna do it, man. And Dawn is a successful player in her own right. Was a 6-time WNBA All-Star, WNBA 10th anniversary team, WNBA 5th anniversary team, right? And again, man, she is getting the job done when it counts, man. So shout out to Dawn Staley. You're doing a hell of a job. And yeah, man, keep up the good work. Machiavelli Mills TV, I'm out. Peace.